So, welcome, Mike and Stacey. I have Mike and Stacey Sweeney on with the Business Spotlight today. Going to be talking with them about their business. My name is David Dowdy. I own Action Coach Lake Norman, local business education and coaching firm here around the lake. So, Mike and Stacey, great to have you on board today. Why don't you introduce yourselves and your business? Give us a little background information, and then love to learn some more from you with some questions today.
Perfect.
Who's
Thanks
going
for
to take the
having
lead?
me. Yeah, Stace.
All right. So I'm Stacey Sweeney. We live here in Mooresville. We've been in Mooresville, I think, 5 years now.
Yeah.
So we're not newbies, but I'm a PT by training, by education, with another master's in exercise science. And my passion is health coaching because I'm also a functional medicine certified health coach and a certified brain health coach through the Amen clinics. The other group of folks that I love to coach are in the cognitive decline space. So I'm a reversing Alzheimer's coach, and we created OPTI Health as a place for people to come for recovery, where they could optimize their mental and physical health. And I'll let Mike talk a little bit more about what we do here, but we love to be an asset to the community.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I'm a former naval officer, entrepreneur. I've worked all over the world. Had an oil and gas company that we built and sold, and got into the health space, really following Stacey and watching her love for helping other people, and just kind of naturally went into that. We both became national board certified health coaches and Amen Clinic certified, and just a whole bunch of other certificates and badges. But really, it's just led us to the point where we started OPTI Health right here in Mooresville, and in offering all kinds of solutions and modalities for optimizing a person's health.
It sounds like you've got a lot of background, varied background and training, certification, you call it badges and whatnot. But, from OPTI Health, it also sounds like you provide a wide variety of services, to individuals. So it's kind of an interesting combination of education and certifications that lead to all those different services.
Right.
So we kind of went down this path for a number of reasons. First, I had an autoimmune disease, and functional medicine helped me tremendously, helped me regain my life. But also, we have a very diverse family. We have several kids through adoption, and my dad has dementia. And so we weren't finding options for them. So we pursued kind of out of the box options that help them to recover from things and get better. And so that's what led us into neurofeedback and hyperbaric oxygen, because the Amen clinics really recommended those for our kids. And we saw that there was a need to offer those to more people, but we wanted it to offer everything that someone would need. So we have red light, we have compression therapy, we'll be having IV therapies very soon. So really, people can come here, they can unwind, they can find some hope that they will start feeling better.
Very good. Very good. All right. From the business ownership standpoint, and the entrepreneurship, like you mentioned, being an entrepreneur as well. So, what if you had to start all over? What would you do different, or if anything at all?
I probably would be working, for Costco or something. No, I'm kidding. Sometimes the life of an entrepreneur, I love the drawing that shows, beginning to success, and it's a straight line, and it says what reality is, and it's this big squiggle line and goes in circles. And I guess really thinking about it is making sure in today's business ventures are different than those of 10 and 20 years ago, where so much of it is centered around social media and internet, and having it done well, and having providers who really know what they're doing and can weave it all together. It's really big in a business like ours, where one of our biggest challenges has just been getting known and letting people know that we're here. We just had a provider here walk through and do a tour of the space, and she was blown away. She's like, I just didn't even know you were here. And so that's a big business challenge, in addition to cash flow and capital and all of the brick and mortar type things that we all have to overcome.
So I think to your question of what would we have done differently, I think we would have had more providers in earlier to see the space, to understand because we're trying to come alongside those providers' care, not take over their care, and kind of be an ally in what they're doing. And when we embrace that model, it really works well.
Interesting. Very good. And that makes sense. Get people in to experience it and really see what you've got so they can speak more passionately about it to theirs. So that may in itself be one of the biggest learnings for you, but anything else come to mind as far as learnings or experiences as you get going?
I don't know that any of our challenges have been different than anyone else's. It's good to find the right people to partner with. It's important to really get your initial employees to be, and sometimes you luck out and find the perfect employees. But really doing your homework to find those folks that you're going to have in the beginning, because really when you're growing it, that first impression that you get with a future client, really can make or break you.
Absolutely. And you preface that answer that you don't know that you have anything different going on than many other business. And that's one of the encouraging pieces of this Business Spotlight series is, and we're all dealing with the same things. Like you're not on an island by yourself.
Right.
There's such common themes, common problems. So, to the misconceptions, man, everybody knows as a business owner, you're making a ton of money and have all the free time in the world. Like, have you overcome some of maybe that's a misconception that comes to mind or other misconceptions, and how do you deal with them?
Oh boy. I think it's a little different in this industry because I think people recognize that this takes a little bit longer to grow than say an oil field construction business, right? When there's oil boom. I don't know that we've had to really deal with that yet.
Yeah, it's just the challenge is just day in and day out, providing great service to our clients and getting to know other providers so that they know that there are resources for their clients, because not everyone, really no one has all of the answers. We all have a piece of all of the solutions. And so if we can all work together, which is what we try to do with other practitioners, from MDs and chiropractors to functional neurologists and go on and on, that we are, like Stacey said, an adjunct to what they're providing. We're in addition. We fill in some of the holes that they may be missing.
Right. Gotcha. If it were easy, everybody be doing it. So you're in an interesting position that a lot of owners are actually in, where you're a team here, both in life and in business. So how do you balance that? The relationship, the work-life balance, all of the above, or do you balance it?
Sometimes we don't balance it well and work comes home with us, and probably in this upstart, we're hoping that will fade a little bit and we'll get a little bit more time just for us. But we've been really fortunate over the last 30 years. This is our 30th year of marriage.
Congratulations.
That had some hard things to go through. And so we trust each other and we feed off each other's strengths for sure.
And this is actually the first time we have worked together in a business. It's always been either Stacey was working as a PT or raising all of our kids, and I was working outside the home. So this is our first time to do this, and it's great because a lot of times we know, like I'll walk in to talk to her about something and she's already thinking about the same thing. Those are nice things that can take partners a long time to create that kind of a relationship. So that's pretty helpful.
And we know we have the same moral backbone, right? So that's a nice place to start.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's good. So Mike, you were mentioning the employees and the importance of employees. You know, that's a kind of a common theme or topic these days of finding the right people. What are some of the characteristics that you two look for when you're recruiting and hiring for your own team?
Well, there's some obvious ones. You know, we're looking for people who are trustworthy, who when they say they're going to show up, they're going to show up, and people who are, and really this is the difference in the way that we look for people, is we're looking for servant-minded individuals. That servant leadership approach, where if an employee is really hung up on what their job description is, they're probably not the people that I want to work with. I want people who look around and say, the garbage needs to be taken out. I need to call the attorney, or I need to take care of this problem or that problem. And they just say, you know what, I'm going to act like an owner and I'm going to take care of these things that need to be taken care of. We try to lead by example. You know, I'm cleaning the glass and taking the trash out and doing whatever needs to be done. And that's what we expect from everyone. And
I would say pleasantness, right?
Yeah,
Pleasantness,
outgoing.
Pleasant and outgoing, have a real care for people. You know, that they really want what's best for everybody that walks through the door.
That's all. Okay. So if I could dig a little deeper into that, is there something so those are the characteristics you're looking for. Do you have certain questions or certain ways that you go through an interview or assessment process to help bring some of that to the forefront? You know, because you don't see some of that until they're actually on the job. You know, how do you get it before the offer is made?
Sure.
I think that's hard to find that. You know, we have failed in that regard a couple times. But somebody who has experience in a caregiving role, whether that be a nursing or medical assistant, or you know, we have a new employee coming on next week that we met at a local business, and just her interactions with us made us want to give her our card and say, hey, what do you have going on? And then found out later she's in nursing school, so this is right up her alley, but her customer service skills were so good that it made us want to talk to her. So we're not advertising for people, but we're finding people.
Fantastic. Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, if you guys have something else to add, great. If not,
you know, there was I think maybe it was on LinkedIn, but there was a story about an HR manager who, when he would interview people, he would take them to the kitchen. And maybe you've read about this before. He would take them to the corporate kitchen, and then he would, you know, give them some coffee or a drink. And his litmus for finding the right people were the ones that, after they were done talking and they stood up, that they grabbed their stuff from the table to take it to the trash and not just left it for someone else. It's kind of an interesting way of, you know, it's like, you know, the steak and the steak sauce test for HR, you know, I mean, but it's that kind of mentality that, you know, if they're looking out for our property and our business, even during the interview, then that tells me something.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's brilliant. I haven't heard exactly that version, but it does reveal what people are doing outside of that interview, one-on-one across a desk type situation. How do they really live their lives? Yeah. So one or two more questions. One being, if you had any words of advice for some of these emerging entrepreneurs, new business owners, or those that have been at it for a year or two that are looking to level up. You know, they're maybe stuck a little bit. What words of advice would you offer up to help people get a little encouraged or get to that next level of maybe some income and freedom?
I would say, connect with other business owners and see how you can collaborate with them. Because that has been a huge driver for us in the last 2 months, getting to know. I met with a gal today who is a coach for breast cancer survivors, right? Letting her know how we could help her, but also I need to know that she's there and I can refer patients to her if they come in here, and let's support each other's small businesses. I think that that's really the key, especially in the Lake Norman area, because there are so many businesses, and how can we enhance each other's work?
Brilliant.
I think an obvious one is, especially if someone is young and they're thinking about being in business, is to make sure that their credit is good. Because the worst thing that can happen is somebody is a hard worker, they have a great idea, they can fill a niche, and they go to the bank and the bank can't touch them. That's just heartbreaking. And you don't think about it when you're 19 and taking out 3 credit cards and playing with your friends, that you have to pay those off on time. So I think that's the important thing, is that be wise in the beginning so that it doesn't curtail the options you have later on in life.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, it makes sense. So, Mike, what's the best way to reach you? If somebody wants to learn more about your business, about OPTI Health, what's the best way to reach out to you?
Yeah, there's 2 ways. One is through our website, which we have a new website coming on next Friday, but we have a placeholder website there right now.
Okay.
It's OPTI Health, LKN, which stands for Lake Norman, .com. And then our phone number is 704-360-2787. And we love to talk with anybody who we can't divulge everything about everything we do on a website. No one would read it. And so we love to just sit down and talk with people. Our initial consultations are free. We just want to see if we are a fit, and if our future clients think that we're a fit to work with them in all capacities that we provide here at OPTI.
Fantastic. Well, guys, I appreciate you being on it. Mike and Stacey Sweeney of OPTI Health, Lake Norman. It's been fantastic having you on the Business Spotlight series, and I appreciate you sharing your wisdom and experience, and we'll look forward to seeing you around town.
Thank you
Sounds
so
good.
much for having
Thank
us
you.
on.
This is great.
Thank you.